object is account, comments is this one, and for example, thread title is account, title is this one, thread field is name, thread applet is this. What do these property names mean? Okay, these property names will be different for different objects. Is it right? For example, applet will be having these properties, and the control might be having something else. The properties here are very different now. It is text alignment, text style, tooltip text, top, type. It is different for every property, for everything that you highlight, every object that you highlight. You know, the properties are going to be different. Is it right?
No. Yes.
Right. So these are the values of these properties for this object. For example, for this applet, ACD transfer applet, the business component is employee. Making sense to you?
Yeah. Yes.
He's saying that you open the properties window, that is one thing. Properties are listed in the alphabetical order. Yes, these are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, G. If I ask you, can you go to the property called as table? You should know you have to scroll down. Okay, it might be somewhere here. And for this applet, this is not the property, just to let you know, it will be, yeah, for business component, this is the property. Well, remember you were asking me what are the mappings? What do you mean by mapping? Just go to this drop down and select this table name. That's now it is mapped to this table. This business component, the property, the table name is this. That means it is mapped to this table. You're asking, right?
The object name is mapped to that one, or the whole record?
Business component. This business component is mapped to this thing. The object is mapped to that. The business component, this account object, account business component is mapped to this table.
Okay, so each object is mapped to different.
Yes. Each business component
Each business component
is mapped to different table, right?
Okay.
Right? This is how it shows here. It's very simple for you to understand, right?
Yeah.
Right, Mustafa?
Yeah.
It's nothing, right? Yeah. It's just the name of, this is the name of the table written. That means this action web is basically mapped to this table.
Yeah.
Is it right? When you do it, it will come very easy. Actually, sometimes we don't even teach like this. The value is shown next to the property name. For example, if I ask you, what is the table for action contact business component? You come here, you say s_act_contact. Okay? Whether it is scripted or not, can you tell me? You say no, it is not scripted. See, the value is written is false. And configurator, what does he do? He just changes it to true. That's it. Right? He just changes to different table name. That's what he does. You can't do it because it's not locked. It's unlocked. It's not locked, but that's what a configurator does. You will do that too down the line. Very shortly you will do it. Okay. You might also do that. Okay. So don't worry about it. You guys will do it. Everybody in this chapter will, in this class will do it very soon. Okay. See, like the controls are a part of applet. Okay. So they will be, you go to applet and you can see the controls in it. So these are all the applets. If you highlight this applet, you see all the controls in that applet. If you highlight the next one, you see all the controls in that applet. So, I will be able to tell you, you go there, you go to applet, you go to control, you will be able to figure it out. Business component should be having fields in it, right? It has fields in it. It also has some other things that helps people, like you to define certain other combinations and things like that. These are all important object types, and you can always you will learn it very soon. Okay. Important thing is that business component script will be part of business component. You might start remembering it after some time. Even if you don't remember, you wouldn't be doing it day in and day out. You will be going there to examine the definitions, to see the definitions, how these are written. So I'll ask you, go there and look in the fields. Can you give me the list of all the fields? If it is a customized application, they'll be having different fields here, right? They might be having different fields. So I might ask you, go here and see what are the various fields there, okay? That's what the whole thing is. That's why I'm telling you how to examine the definitions. And on the basis of that, we'll make the right design. That's why I'm asking you to do all that, okay? Right? Exactly. So this is a parent, this is the parent, this is business component is a parent, these are the children. So the field is child property of business component, child object type of business component, and all the various fields. When you highlight one of the fields, you will see the properties of that field. For example, this comparator field It is map to CMPT underscore FLG
Land.
column. In which table? If you want to see the table name, you should highlight this business component, see which table it is. In this table. Okay, so this is what we are learning. You learn it, it's not very difficult. I just want to show you once. I would have done some practicals right here, but I think we don't have time for that. We'll just go over the theory first, okay? Then we'll do the practical together.
Okay.
I know that he will learn in my next 5 minutes, so don't worry. You don't worry about that. Okay, he's just saying various navigation techniques between Siebel tools. It's very simple, you learn it. It's not a big deal. Mustafa, don't worry about that. Using drill down. So he says, oh, it's in Siebel 7. It's not in Siebel 6, I guess then.
Those are linked.
Yeah, just click on this to go to the business component definition directly. People copy this thing and go there. I would say just click here and you can go there. Right? At the same time, if your idea is to just highlight, then don't click on that hyperlink. Right? Right? If I ask you to highlight this ACD transfer core applet, then don't click on this employee underscore. It will take you to the something else. That's a common problem here. Okay? Don't do that. When I'm asking you to highlight something, don't click on hyperlinks. It will take you somewhere else. And if it does take you somewhere else, just click on these back buttons. You know, there will be back buttons here and it will bring you back. Okay? Anyway, it's simple small things, right? Using the forward back button. Yeah, this button is present in Siebel 7 for sure. I've seen that. In Siebel 6, I don't see it here. So I don't know what to do here. Anyway, so you can go back to your previous whatever you were working on. So you can keep going back and forward. It's like Internet Explorer, right? Using bookmarks, not very useful. I've not used it much. That's fine. Object Explorer flat tab. This is important. See what happens is, in this, let's say you are in this applet, right? Let's say you're in business components. Okay, you click on this field. So right now you see the fields, all the fields, or you see the fields only in this business component? What do you think, Priya? See only the fields in this business component, right? Right, Priya?
Oh.
And every business component will be having different fields, right? Is it right? If you want to see all the fields, then you click on this flat tab. I will not click on this because it will take 10 minutes for it to come back to me. Okay? But if you click on this flat tab, I'll show you here. If you click on this flat tab, you'll see all the controls anywhere or all the fields anywhere. So you just select the object type and you will see all the that objects anywhere. Okay? But this is sometimes helpful. You are saying, right, if I have to find, this is a better way to do. Then you go to flat tab and you find a thing there. If you don't know this field, where does it appear? It doesn't happen much. Trust me, it doesn't happen much. You would know business component and then you can look for the field. It won't happen. This field, where does it appear? If it happens that way, you go to, right? You go to the flat tab, look for the field, highlight field in Object Explorer, look for that field here. Then you will see all the business components where that field appears. It doesn't make sense to you, right? Because it is not important. Okay, don't worry about it. Most of you understood it, right? It's just a look at if you're not going to, you know, developer is the one who's going to day in and day out work on this. He needs to use these tools, how to get quickly into these things that he was working on, right? Right? You don't need to know all this, right? Repository search. That is the thing you were asking for. Use search repository to find multiple object types at once. So you can look for object types like this also. You want to use it. If at all one day it happens, learning here will not help you because I have to tell you again. Completely from scratch. It is totally useless at this point. Don't worry about it. Oh, we finished the chapter. This module showed you how to describe the differences between object types and object definitions. We know, right? You look at the object type on the left hand side and you look at the object definition on the right hand side. Use Siebel tools to examine parent and child object definitions, right? Right? Search for object definitions with a given property value. We have done all that. We looked at the property name, then we looked at the value of that property, we looked at the applet, we looked at the applet name, then first search for it, then we looked at the properties of that applet, then we saw what are the various properties and what are their values for this particular applet. For the other applet, the property name will be same, of course, because it will be having similar properties, but the values will be different. Is it right? All applets will be assigned to different business components. They'll be having different values of true and false, but right? So configurator does change those properties, right? For example, these applets here, they'll be having different properties, right? Let's examine one property so that everybody can see, right? So what is a property? For example, this my accounts, right? One of the properties of this is, what is the name of this, right? Right? Pharma account list applet. That is the name. From this property, we are able to find the applet, right? Pharma account list applet. I'll look for that. I'll go to applet, look for pharma account list applet. Okay, so I come here. Okay, I look at the other properties too. It just tells me the title is my accounts. If I change the title here, it will change it here too.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So you will be use thinking I'm writing the code. No. So everywhere, the property, for example, this one, agreements, the title will be agreements. You want to check it out, Hafiz?
Yeah.
Agreement list applet no parent. Okay, remember the name. Okay, agreement list applet no parent, right? Okay, did I use a very interesting way of wildcard?
Yeah.
Because I know that agreement and parent cannot come together in any other applet, so I just use agreement star parent. Okay, okay. So let's see the name. The title is agreements. If I change it to something else, if I change it to agreement test, is it saved now? No, it is not saved. When I step off, then it will be saved. So it is not saved. Now it is saved, right? And if I compile it, yeah, I'm just doing it quite fast. If something doesn't happen, please don't mind. I'm just trying to make it work.
Yeah, civil SR.
So it's getting compiled right now. I didn't recall how to compile, but it's not important at this point. We will cover it later. Yeah, it's taking time. He asked a very interesting question. There are two ways to compile: incremental compile and a full compile. I'm doing an incremental compile. So I just changed one. I just changed one thing. It shouldn't have done anything much. It just took some time. I don't know why, but probably the reason is there is something else also, which is oh yeah, there are so many things which are basically logged. See, actually this is new table is logged. That is the reason. That is why it was green, because I've just unlocked everything else. Okay, now it won't take that much time. Okay, anyway, it has been compiled now, right? So let's go into this thing. The property is showing now. We went to agreements. We went to all agreements. It's showing now. To change any property, it will start showing here. It's a simple rule in applet, control, field, business component, table, column. There are 5 or 6 properties that I want you to learn and how they work. And after that, there's no other property that I want you to know about. Right? We just saw title. This is not important. I just did it because it's easy. But important things are like search stack, sort stack, things like that. And like what is the name, what is it mapped to, which table it is mapped to. That's the most important thing, because that's how you look at it, right? I'll go to the GUI, and you can know the business component name, right? Service agreement. You can easily find out what this table it is, what this business component is mapped to, right? Service agreement, right? That is the name of the business component. So you come here, you make, you go to the business component first, then you make a search for this. Okay, then look at the table property. It is mapped to a table called as s_doc_agree, right?
Yeah.
You guys might be thinking, why am I saying this property and all those things? You might be finding it easy. You might be finding it easy. You might be finding it super easy. But there are people who will not understand this simple thing, that this business component is mapped to this table is written like this. The property name and the value is this. Okay, right? So this business component is mapped to this table, is written in the usual software world also like this, like in VP also it's written like this. This is the value. If you start doing it, you won't even notice that, you won't even notice all this. It's just very simple. Okay, so we'll do all this together. Okay, so we did, we learned all about, how to basically navigate into Siebel tools, how the Siebel tools interface is designed, how the various object definitions are returned, what are object definitions, and so on and so forth. Okay, that concludes chapter 14.